How you doing, folks? This is Mitch from Hard Intentions YouTube channel and website. Yeah, we got a website. And when we say small business, we are a small business. And this is our world headquarters. T-shirts, art, tattoo studio. So we thought we'd show you some of the stuff we got. We got our Singing Devil shirt with a custom logo. We've got some of these left. These are Racerbacks, Living Dead Girl. And we got our Celtic Cross shirt, oops, which I happen to like a lot. Pretty popular shirt. We got a few of those on the show. Then we got our Two Moon shirt, which is a painting I did for Steve the Barber. Folks convinced me to turn it into a t-shirt, so we did. And it's got its own logo in the front, little buffalo skull. We got the Hammer Drop shirt, which is kind of cool. We got the Hard Knuckles shirt, yeah, which I dig. We got our Naughty Biker shirt, oh yeah. And we got our Living Dead Girl in black t-shirts. And we got our logo shirt. That's our original logo. And personal favorite a lot of guys, we got our Viking shirt. Oh yeah, we got this in white also, I believe. Then we got our Hard Anchor. Oh yeah, that's got its own logo on the front there. I kind of like that little dot shaded thing. And we got some shirts left over from Street Vibrations we're gonna put up later. We got a few hats, snapback, a little small for my big ass head, but we got them. I'm gonna post those up. We got some cool ass stickers. Singing Devil. Our logo. Our backup lame. And of course we got prints. We got motorcycle prints. These are all paintings I did in prison. That's pan surfing. We got the shovel head. We got the Red Tree Run, which is kind of cool. It's got a little movement going on there. This is a good one. I got glue on my fingers today at work, so it's kind of hard to grab them. That's Cruising the Coast. They're sticking. Oh yeah, look at that. That's a nice one. I like that. Yeah, I did all these along with all the shirt designs when I was in the joint. This one I did back in Quentin, like in '81. This ballpoint pen, the colored pencil and pastel. And for some reason that survived. That's the Rebel Run. And we got the Disappearing and the Owl. We got a few other prints. One thing I want to start doing as soon as we can get them posted is we got some prints on canvas, upside down. There you go. This is a print of the painting of Two Moons. It's on canvas, mounted on board. You can pop it right in the frame. And we'll have these also. Same thing. These are 16 by 20. Canvas, mounted on hardboard. We'll get these up soon. You guys will be able to pick them up. Thanks for tuning in. We built this and yeah, this is where we do it. This is where I tattoo, paint, draw, fill orders. That's everything.
When we say we're a small business, we mean we're a small business.
Small business here means small business, for real. This is it. So, you know, we appreciate the support you guys give us to keep us going. You know, someday we'd like to be a large business, but right now we're kind of small. And all you guys that ordered from us recently on our sale, we appreciate it. All you guys have been ordering for years from us. We've been around about 2 years. We really appreciate you guys. And all you guys that are new, thank you. We really appreciate the support. You take care of yourselves out there and do it hard. Hi, it's Mitch from Hard Intentions YouTube channel. And we have a guest today from Texas. All right. So without further ado, how'd you like to introduce yourself, the audience there?
Morning, Mitch. My name's Gary.
Gary.
Corpus Christi, Texas, South Padre Island.
All right, Corpus Christi. That's on the coast, right? The Gulf.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, cool, cool. So, you born and raised in Texas?
Yes, sir. Right here, South Padre. Beach bum all my life.
Oh, all right, all right. So, so you grew up right there in Texas. So, like, you grew up in like just a normal home, normal neighborhood kind of stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. I grew up in a pretty well-to-do family and pretty not well suburbs, I guess you could say, but nice new neighborhoods and stuff like that. And then we moved back to Corpus from a little small town where we were living, and that's when I just started hanging out with my friends, I guess.
Yeah.
You know, one thing led to another. I lived in a town that was all football and jocks. And when I moved to Corpus, it was all different. We had a lot of hardcore punk rock kids and, you know, just wild kids. And
Yeah.
yeah.
You had like you grew up in a home with your mom and dad both, or
My stepdad married my mom when I was 7, so he raised me.
all right.
My real father, he just died here about 2 years ago. So
I'm
yeah,
sorry
my
to hear
stepdad
that.
raised me. Yeah.
Yeah, all right. And so you go to school, you have normal like you finish school and all that kind of stuff.
No, I was in the 10th grade, man, when I got sent to prison. I was in school. I was in high school when they sent me at 17. So I was young. I didn't get to finish. I finished in prison though. As soon as I got there, they told me that I scored high enough on their entrance exam. Yeah.
So you went to prison pretty young. I can relate. I went to prison when I was 17 as well. So what kind of guys were you hanging out with as you were growing up, man, that got you down that road to prison at such a young age?
I was one of them little hardcore punk rock kids, got into the hardcore scene.
Yeah.
And just running wild. Back then you had skinheads coming down from here and there, just running wild. And man, I just one day started doing some drugs, and that's all it took for me. That addict, you know what I'm saying? Straight into the wall. You do it once and there's no little bit, you know. Plus I got turned on by much older guys, man, a much older dude that turned me on to drugs like that. He's dead now, but I was 16 years old and this dude was, sticking a needle in my arm. I always held that against him too.
Really?
Yeah.
So what were you like, using speed or heroin?
Yeah.
Or?
Yeah, when I first started, it was cocaine. That coke, and I got locked up quick on. I mean, that coke will get you quick. And I thought, when I was locked up that time, I got 12 years on that one. And I thought, well, I'll do coke. Can't wait to get out and do coke again. And after a while, I was like, why would you want to do that? And then I got out and just substituted it with something else, that methamphetamine, man.
Yeah. So you're 16 and a guy turned you on to drugs.
I was actually 15 when he fucking first did it. 15.
Oh, wow. And
Yeah.
so you're in the punk rock scene and using drugs, you committing crimes and stuff like that, like to get money for dope or
I couldn't sit there. I wasn't the guy to sit there and want more and not have none. I would go get it. I'd just straight up go get it. I just go take it, man. That's what we used to do. Go to the getting spots, what we used to call it.
Yeah.
A little scumbag on the street stealing hardworking people's stuff, man. Yeah.
Oh, wow. So what like when you went to the joint, what did you go to prison for at such a young age? You go to youth authority or did you go to prison?
No, I was on juvenile probation from the time I was 13 to I turned 17. The day I turned 17 and became an adult, he let me off, my probation officer.
Yeah.
It wasn't 2 weeks later, I was in the county jail. Yeah, with the gang of charges. They had been stacking them up on me for a while. I had been doing it, and they had been looking for me. They had my fingerprints, and when they finally got me, they told me, we don't need you to say nothing. We got this. You did this, you did that. You left prints everywhere. Yeah, they got me through fingerprints, and they connected me through MO, method of operation, he said. We got you on all the. I couldn't deny it. I mean, he told me, you left a cigarette butt right here. I remember I did that, You got me.
I got a homeboy got busted on a thing. They got a cigarette butt and they got DNA off it actually. And,
oh yeah. I always see this ancestry.com and all that now. And I was always thinking, I'm so glad I never did nothing that they could come back, because I had so many crimes. All my statute of limitations now, it's just property crimes.
Yeah. Well,
boy,
in California, they can if you get convicted of a violent crime, they you got to give up your DNA. So
yeah. In Texas, when you're getting out too, speaking of which, I was gonna tell you, they got my celly like that, man. Last time I was down, I had a celly. They came and got him at 3 o'clock in the morning. The field guards, the chain gang bosses, and the warden. They threw DNA. He got ready to go home. They took his DNA. He had a capital murder and a rape they were looking for him for.
Wow.
They executed him last year. Yeah, he was my celly for about 2 years, man, when they took him away.
Oh, wow.
Middle of the night. See you later. He told me everything, too, about his crime. He just didn't mention the rape and the murder part. He told me about the whole night. He lied about that part. Anyway.
Yeah, well, you know, it's not something guys talk about in prison, because at least not out here, because that's, you know, you know where that leads.
Yeah.
So, like when you were running the streets, right? Were you like, you a happy camper? Like, hey, I'm having a great time, life's good, or?
Nah, it was straight. It was straight, just up to no good. I hooked in with some dudes here when I moved back to Corpus that were, I never had heard the word burglary before in my life. Let's put it that way. And then they said burglary, like, what's a burglary? You know, come on, we'll show you. And they had been doing it all their life. They lived with their mom. Their house, everything in their house was stolen. You know, this is back in 85, 6, around there.
Yeah.
Everything they had was stolen. Their mama blamed everything on me too. I was the bad influence. I didn't even know what burglary meant until I met your kids.
Yeah.
So,
oh, wow. So, you went off to prison at a pretty young age.
yeah.
Texas.
Yeah, I got 12.
Texas prison.
Yeah, yes, sir. Yes, sir. I've only lived in Texas. I've only been out of Texas twice. Once on parole. Before I got off of parole this last time, I had to go up to Arkansas.
Yeah. So, where'd you go?
When I left, I would have been to Florida and I've been to Arkansas.
I mean, like when you went to prison the first time, did they have like a reception center?
Oh,
like,
yeah. Yes, sir. Yeah. Yes, sir. You go to diagnostics. You'll go to diagnostics, and then you can spend 30 days there or 15 days there, and then 15 in Goree. And they shipped me over to Goree for the second 15 days. And then from there, you'll do your classification, see how smart you are, hearing test, eye test, all that. And then basically, unless you're missing limbs, back then, you're going straight to the chain gang. There's no ands, ifs, or buts about it, especially being young. Especially being young.
Prison I'm really familiar with. I heard of Huntsville. I don't know.
Yeah, there's like 200 now. When I first went, there was like 42 prisons. That's it. In fact, whenever I went, it was so overcrowded that they refused to take me and the 3 guys that the sheriff drove us up to Huntsville. And they said, we're not going to take him. He said, all right. He drove around the prison, the main prison in Huntsville, and handcuffed us to a fence right there in front and said, bye. Like that. Wow. Left us handcuffed to it. Yeah, handcuffed us to a fence. No shit.
Wow.
Tents and
that many prisons. Like California, we got like 34 prisons, but our prisons have, 3, 4, 5,000 guys in.
The majority of our units in Texas run about 2,000 people. 1,500, 2,000. That's about average, it seems. You have like Cofield and some of the other ones, like 5,000 people. They're like cities. Well, they're all like cities. Yeah. They're all self-supporting, got their own water systems, own plumbing, not hooked up to anybody, and in the middle of nowhere.
Wow.
Vegetables as far as you can see. You want fresh vegetables?
They got tons of prisons down there. That's crazy.
Yeah, there's over 200.
The California, Texas, and Florida, I think, kind of patterning their prison systems after each other, you know.
Yeah, see, it all happened back in the 80s during when crack cocaine came out and the war on drugs and all that, and they started building prisons, and now they're shutting them down here. They're shutting down brand new, well, not brand new, but they were built in 92, 90, and they're closing them down already, shutting them down.
Yeah, they just shut down a prison here, Tracy. They just shut it down, DVI.
Yeah.
Gladiator School.
Yeah. It seems like it runs the same in Texas, more or less as it does out there in California. I see difference in the yard politics, stuff like that. But
so when you went to the joint, you went to the reception center. How much time did you have?
I got 12 years. Yeah, she came at me with a 15. I was in the jail. So I was 17. On my 18th birthday, I went to court. On my 18th birthday, they took me to court, and she said, well, since it's your birthday, I'll drop it from 15. I'll give you 12. I said, well, I guess I better take it. So she was playing hard. Huh?
You took a deal.
Yeah, I guess I got kind of lucky. I got a bunch of time for the crimes that I did, though. Yeah. They don't even now you can't even go to Texas for burglary of a building. Well, they have state jails. And auto burglary, breaking into a car, is a misdemeanor. I got 16 years for that. I got 16 years for freaking auto burglary, man. It's a misdemeanor now in Texas.
So you went to Texas prison. You went once you went to the the reception center, then you went off to regular prison, right? What was that?
Yes, sir.
Like, they got different levels of prison, like low level, high level.
Oh yeah, you got medium, maximum. They got all kinds of new classification now. I've heard. I don't know about that stuff, but yeah, the units you got max. Back then when you were young, you were more or less probably going to go someplace like Ferguson, Clemens, or something, Burning Hell, whatever. They got all kinds of names for them. And yeah, it's all about it when you get there right off the bat. As soon as you walk in the door, man. Back then they didn't care. As soon as you walk in the door, it was anybody gets you. But they're going to check you as soon as you get in. They call it check here. I heard it's called check a heart or something. I don't know, but they check your boxing game, whatever. I don't know.
Yeah. So you, what prison did you end up in?
I got so freaking lucky. It ain't even funny, man. There used to be a unit called Hilltop here in Texas. It even had a friendly name. There's 3 units, Hackberry, Sycamore, and Hilltop. And it was where all the women's prisons are at. It was surrounded by women's prisons in Gatesville, but there were 3 units with guys, young kids. And that's where we were at right there. Air conditioning, it was sweet, but work, man, work. Everybody there was 21 or younger. Nothing but work. Cowboys everywhere. Off your ass, on your feet.
So, so like you go to Texas, like you went to prison. They didn't tell you like, hey, we got school or you got to finish your high school or anything like that. It was just strikes. You just put you to work or what?
Yeah. You go straight to the fields. But when you go through the classification part, you take that IQ test, and they go off of that. And whenever I got there to the unit, I had been in the fields about a week, and they came and told me, a teacher did from the schoolhouse, came and told me that I scored high enough on my IQ test that I don't have to do any schooling. And if I'd like, I can go ahead and go straight and take the GED class with no classes before. I said, sure. So I got 3 days out of the fields. I took my GED, passed that, and right back to the fields. There you go, buddy.
You say fields, like we don't have anything like that out here. I mean, it's like, what are you talking about?
Texas used to be based strictly, it was self-supporting.
Yeah.
And that means our food, we made everything closed. So the taxpayers, there was no tax to pay our prisons. It was all self-supporting. That's the way it was. They started building the new prisons. They put a TDCJ, they put a J at the end, institutional division now. It's a TDCJ, whatever they call it.
Yeah.
And they built all these factories. When they started, all the food that we used to eat, we ate good, man. Anything you wanted except the meat, you get 1 piece of meat. You could have everything else you wanted fresh.
Yeah.
And they started selling all that instead and feeding us crap. They were feeding us something out of a bucket that all the top in the prison system went to prison for, called VitaPro. They were feeding us dog food, man, beef, chicken, and vegetable flavored in a 5-gallon bucket. And when they started doing that, they sold everything. They quit. Now they don't work because the inmate population changed. The kids nowadays literally stop them working in TDC. They don't want to fucking work. And enough of them just say, they ain't gonna do it. What are you gonna do? Well, they gotta lock them all down. Because in Texas, they would kill you, Mitch. If you refused to work, they would freaking kill you back then. They would beat you to death. They would have you beat to death, or they would put you in a cage.
Well,
on a flatbed trailer.
It was, back in like 81, I ran into this cop out here, a prison guard. He came from Texas, and I said, I asked him, so they got yard. I asked him, out here we got yard time, and guys play handball, lift weights, all that shit, and I said, they got yard down there. What's the program like down there? He goes, yeah, they got yards. I said, really? He says, yeah, they got peanuts, okra. He started. I said, what are you talking about? And he's like, you work in the fields down there.
It's chain gang work, man. You clean the Amtrak, the trains, the Amtrak. They run through the countryside. You got to clean their tracks. They run through the prison property. They let that shit grow 12 feet tall, that Johnson grass, before they take you up there. And it's all uphill all day long, lined up. Keep count. If you were weak, chubby guys, dudes that were weak and stuff like that, they got the blues, man. Because some of those dudes chose to stay in the fields. So they were big. They'd been there for years working. They were big, and they ran it. If you were causing them to get yelled at and our squad to get yelled at, you're going to get leaned on. You're going to get leaned on quick.
So the program was like what? You get up in the morning, go to breakfast, and just go work in the fields all day, or what?
Go to work all day long, 8 to 12 hours a day. Rain, mud, snow, it don't matter. It don't matter. You get lucky every once in a while. You turn out, and there'd be like 1,000 guys going in the fields, and they bust out baseball bats and a softball and one glove. and take everybody way back in the back of the penitentiary where the warden couldn't see and let us play softball. Well, some people play, the rest of us just sat there, you know.
Yeah.
But,
So at the end of the work day, when you go back to the pad, I mean, what's the rest of the day like?
They run you back up in the showers. They run you through the showers. You get about 5 minutes to shower. Probably run you through. They run you through chow at lunch, and then sometimes at dinner, if you came in late, they'd run you or give you a Johnny sack, just a little sack with a peanut butter sandwich. And yeah, just go back to your cell. That's all it was work. That's all they cared about.
And that was all they cared about. A fucking sandwich.
Oh yeah, Johnny bags. Oh, I lived off of that for 6 months when they tried to integrate the cellies. When people started fighting over that, 6 months of peanut butter sandwich, one sandwich, and a jalapeno pepper. Yeah, fresh pepper. Yeah. Wow. They knew what they were doing. Peanut butter and peppers works great, man.
So, like, what was your meals? Like, you have a decent breakfast and go to work?
Back then, yeah. See, the field bosses, that's one thing about it. They would run up in the chow houses, cowboys on the road to horses with the guns. They'd run up in the chow hall with you, and they tell them, feed them. They wanted you to eat them big old pieces of cake, feed them, because they were going to work it out of you. They had one goal, to get that crop in at the end of the year. Whatever that crop was, broom straw, whatever it was, they wanted that crop in. That's where the money was at. That's what they got paid for.
So the food that you guys ate back then, you guys grew it.
Yes, sir.
And so,
me too.
So you guys had cows out there too, and pigs, all that stuff?
Yeah, they had a couple of units that had big slaughterhouses on them. Yeah, but you didn't see the beef very often. When you walked in the chow hall and it said steak up on the menu thing right there, you knew somebody important from the government, from the local state government was going to be there. Really? The governor or somebody. Oh, no, we're having steak. They'd make it look real good when somebody'd come through. Yeah. Right. They gave us a football one time, Mitch. We're like, what, on the rec yard? Fuck yeah. The dude, whoever was there, came and left. He came right as soon as he left. He said, come here, criminal, give me the fucking football. And took it back. Sons of bitches ain't playing no football. Bastards.
Really?
We're all happy. Yeah.
Wow. Because, California, man, we had, we don't have weights anymore. We had weight pile. Every race had their own weights. Basketball, handball. Some prisons had tennis courts, softball games, football, soccer, all that. We still got all that. Other than the weights, that blows
in Texas, the SAs run the handball court. That's going to be their area. Yeah. The brothers have got the basketball court, and the white dudes in the woods or whatever, they're over there with the volleyball. They play volleyball. And what else did they have? Handball. I played a lot of handball. Yeah. And this last time I went down, I hit the weights this last time. I came out big, 245. I was big when I got out.
Do you guys still have weights in Texas prison?
Whenever I got to the pre-release in 2000, when we pulled up, they had 2 weight yards that would blow your freaking mind. Solid steel, all free weights. And I was there about 6 months, and they pulled them all off. We had a big fight, a big riot, and they pulled them all off, but they came back with hundreds of different machine weights. Yeah. But you could do the whole stack on those. There were people standing on the weight pile to make heavier weight, but but there's still something to do.
So your first term, you spent your whole term just working in the fields, and that's it?
No. Eventually, I put in to go to school for a vocational. That was the only way to get out, is if you got accepted into a vocational. And I eventually got accepted into a machine printing, like printing presses. Right. That absolutely is irrelevant as hell today and means nothing because everything's computerized now. And we had the old carved on a stone, dip it in ink and slap it down thing, Yeah. So they got a couple of good vocations in Texas, but not many. Truck driving and HVAC. That's it. Welding.
So they teach you truck driving in Texas prison?
Oh yeah, you can leave there with your CDL. I got a couple of my buddies right now that got their CDLs in prison, and they're doing it to this day. 30 years later, still truck driving. That means
that they're letting you drive the truck.
Oh yeah, inside. Oh yeah, and not only that, if you're not approved to trustee status to be able to leave outside the fence, they have a place inside, but you're still behind the wheel of an 18-wheeler. Wow. They still. But as it was proved before, you really don't need an 18-wheeler to get out of Texas prisons. They just walk out when they want. If they want to, they just walk out. All 7 of you just take off. So yeah.
Well, that's pretty cool because truck driving is a good job for guys, especially if they have criminal background or if they're loner type guys, whatever. It's good money, So
yeah, it is.
It blows
I just
me away
can't
that they
drive that.
teach you that in Texas prisons, you know?
It's very it's a very respected course too, outside of the prison. That, their barber school, and the HVAC and welding. Other than that, you might as well be taking basket weaving or something, because it ain't gonna do you no good.
Yeah, so you got into print shop trade. Got you
Yeah,
out
I
of the
took that.
fields.
Yeah, I took that, and then when I got out, I actually tried to get a job doing that. I think I did get a job, but I never went the first day though. I got hired and never showed up, so I wasn't ready to work, man. I wasn't ready to work.
So while you were working in a trade, were you still living in a unit with guys that were working in the fields?
Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. At that unit, yes, at that unit you did. Yeah, but other ones they kept them separated. Like if you were in a factory, like last time I was in a furniture factory, I was in a factory dorm.
Yeah.
You know? So yeah.
And so like out here, we used to have hobby and stuff. Like I used to go down and do woodwork. I do leatherwork, ceramics, art, all that kind of stuff. Do they have that kind of stuff where you were at?
Yes, sir, they did. The last time I was down, I got into the craft shop. It was very hard to get into. You had to have money. You had to keep so much money on your books at all times. You had to have a constant balance, and of course, no trouble. And the thing is, man, most of them dudes up there were doing life, man, and they had been there, and so they weren't giving up no spots. Yeah. So I had to pay the major's boy. I paid off the dude, and he talked to the major and got me. I bribed my way in, basically.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And so, I mean, that's the spot. They only allow a certain amount of guys to hobby.
Yeah, there's about 20 people on a unit. That's it, man. The spots are very. If you're in the craft shop, man, everybody knows you got it going on. And nobody messes with you, and nobody will touch you because hey, you're the dude that you're the man. So I mean. All
right. So what about artwork? Could you just buy art supplies and take it to your cell?
Yeah, no. You can have colored pencils, just a basic set. If you're not in the craft shop, but being in the craft shop, all the dudes who did portraits and all that stuff and drew that were on the block that weren't in it, didn't have money. I'd order the good stuff for them and take it to them on the block, and they'd buy it from me, stuff that they couldn't get, because I could order anything. My mail didn't get open. My mail did not get open in the craft shop. Yeah. Packages would come. Hey, Canopy, here's your stuff. Come get it. Pick it up. Could have been anything in the world. So
yeah, it's coming from a vendor. So
yeah, they don't open it, man. Well, plus in the craft shop, like I say, you sell the ward and a saddle that would cost about $5,000-$6,000. You sell it to him for $5. Hey, he's going to be your buddy. You know what I'm saying? And in Texas, that's the minimum bid they could give. The officers would have to sign a contract. The lowest bid, the lowest thing, the smallest they could go is $5 for anything. So you'd follow them up with $5 ticket.
So you were allowed to sell your products that you made in the hobby to staff?
Yes, sir. And they had to pay once they signed that contract. Even if it was $5, they'd get fired. That's the only thing the rank would go against their COs on, is that right there. If they didn't pay, other than that, they'd never go against their COs. They'd fire them, man.
And then the money would go in your account, right?
Yes, sir. Automatically, yeah.
Yeah, we had the same thing here, and we actually had a store out front where you could put products out there. It was open to the general public, visitors, all that. They could buy stuff, and you could do contracts also with staff. And same thing, if they signed a contract, the hobby manager would make them, honor it.
Yeah, it was you keep them in debt. That's the way I said it. Keep them in debt. Like I say, walk around like you own the place. Literally, you could, because you had them all. Miss Stevenson there shaking you down at the crash gate. She owes you $100 if she ain't paid. But I ain't said nothing to nobody. I ain't going to. She's patting you down. What you got in your socks? Nothing. All right, go on. Just walk on. Hurry up. Yeah, that craft shop was the place to be. I never understood it, man. Once I figured that out, that yard, there's nothing on that yard for you. That craft shop's where you want to be. Yeah, that's the only. You can fight over that yard all you want. You know what I'm saying? And think you're running something. The people running that prison are in that craft shop and that warden. That's who's running it, because they got the access to everything.
Yeah,
you got the access.
The hobby shop out here was like, you didn't violate the program. Like, you didn't smuggle shit in. You didn't, it was out of bounds, man, because guys were making money out of the hobby shop.
I sent money home. I was sending money home.
Yeah, I used to send money to my wife that I made through hobby, and some guys are making 5, 10, 15 grand a year in a hobby, and in the
easy.
That was pretty good money,
Easy, man. We were getting them saddle kits. I could get a saddle kit for, what was it, $800. or $1,000 for the tree and the two sides, all that. Turn around and sell it for 3,000. DPS, the EquiSearch, all that. Go ahead.
Doing leather work then.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I started off at art. I wasn't interested in leather, but there was a guy there who was extremely badass at leather. I mean, and I asked that dude, hey, would you teach me? I'll pay you. He said, yeah. And so I learned from that dude, and I just fell in love with it, man. I brought it to the world. I make a living off of it, a very good living, very good living. Texas prison craft shop skills. Yeah.
Hey, so like, what's the race thing like down there in Texas? Like, is everything kind of divided? Like races kind of stay separate from each other, or how's that work?
Yeah, it's gotten that bad, more or less. When I first went, there were no families, no gangs, nothing. You've heard the older guys on older prisons, here and there. Some of the older, you'd hear that. It really started in about 90, 91, 92. And it's just it's 80% black, all right? 80% black and Hispanic in Texas.
Yeah.
The rest is white, and there's an Asian guy in there somewhere. That's it, man. I mean, you're outnumbered, but if you're cool, it's no big deal. You can talk to anybody. You can hang with anybody. You can be what you want to be. You can be anything you want to be in Texas prison, as a matter of fact. But go ahead.
You tell me with the white dudes, they don't like they weren't like dictating, like you can't fuck with it. You can't go and hang out with these, like white dudes can't hang out with blacks or, certain other races. Like you can't, like out here, it's pretty segregated. California prison system, very racially segregated, separate. Yeah. I mean, you can talk to people a little bit here and there, and you can do certain programs with people if you work with them, or if you're in a self-help programs, all that kind of shit. But in general, on the yard, everyone stays separated. Some of the white dudes will play handball with some of the Mexicans, shit like that. But it's pretty racially segregated out here.
See, me being where I'm from, I'm down here by the Mexican border almost. I grew up with all Hispanic dudes all my life. My best friends, best friend. So in prison, you hang with who you grew up with, your homeboys from your hometown.
Right.
Well, where I'm from, it was all Hispanics. That's who I hung out with. So, I hung out with them, and we had each other's back. We weren't a gang. We weren't nothing like that. It started off called Hometown. Now it's called Tango Blast. And they've taken it to a whole nother level. They've shut down all the other families out there and turned it into a machine. They sell shirts and stuff now advertising the family, like, what the hell?
Yeah.
The hell? But yeah, they just got tired of the abuse. Everybody got tired of the abuse whenever the gangs did take over. And, they were, like dudes from one town, the gang members from their town would say, you're from here, so you have to be with us. You know what I'm saying? You have to. Or if not, they do something to their own people about it,
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So, you tell me in Texas prison, could a white dude sell up with a black dude?
You ain't got no choice. Now, I can tell you, I was there the day it happened in 1991. The day they desegregated the cells. Yes, sir. My best homie, and still my homie to this day, he's a skinhead. He's about 6'7".
Yeah.
And he's the biggest black you ever seen in your life. He's a black skinhead. He's a sharp skinhead.
Yeah.
Other black dudes couldn't stand him. He was there with me the day. We stood there that day on the rec yard. When they let us out and they gave the move slips, they were moving the whole prison. Everybody was because everybody was white, Hispanic. When they did that, you had dudes throwing their mattress on the rec yard. Oh, shit. Hello.
What happened?
Hang on. Are you there?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I got cut. Here, let me turn this off, man. I don't know why that happened. So yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, they gave the land, so they started moving people, man, and it was insanity there for a minute. I mean, it was so bad that we got locked down for 6 months. The lieutenant finally came and told us, "Look, yeah, y'all gonna kill each other. Y'all gonna end up with a life sentence in here because we will give it to you. You either get along." And they were still fighting when I left. It had eased up some, but it was so bad they finally had to let us out to make commissary. We were freaking starving to death. Cornbread and jalapenos, man, for 6 months. Peanut butter. Yeah.
Yeah, like out here they tried interracial selling. It didn't go over well. I think on some of the PC yards, they got S&Y, it's because sensitive needs like PC, It might have went over there, but like in the general population, mainline, for the whites, like if they say, hey, you're gonna move in with this black dude or whatever, you can't refuse because that's like,
you know, that's like a week or whatever. So you're supposed to go to the cell and get off, you know. Wasn't happening. And so they finally quit trying to do it. They actually had a federal court order to make them do it, but it didn't work. So
yes, the thing about Texas, man, is Texas could have changed a lot of things. The inmates could. You're in prison, so you know you lose a lot of rights. You do. If you commit a crime, you really do. I mean, you got to accept that. It sucks, but you do.
yeah.
And I don't know, man. They forced it on you, which is it didn't matter to me. I really didn't give a shit.
Yeah.
But Texas breeds hate, man. You get little white dudes who were full on listening to rap music and had their hat turned backwards when they were in the world. And, you know, and they get locked up and they come out racist, you know, skinhead. And we don't really, skinheads aren't a thing here. But, you know, we have a couple of white families down here but they're nothing like the ones y'all have out there. Not even close. Not even close.
Yeah. I mean, out here, you could lose your life over shit, you know. I mean, you know, if you go against the grain on a mainline prison, you could lose your life, you know, quick.
Yeah, shoot, we don't have a protective custody here. So really, you catch out. They just move you to another block somewhere, and by the time you get your mattress over there, whoever had a gig with you over here, their homeboys already know you're coming, and you still belong to them no matter where you go. Once somebody claims you, that's it, man. It's over. Your whole stint in prison is going to be decided your first day when you hit your unit. How you act right then and there is going to decide the rest of your stay, whether you're going to have a man or you know what you're going to do. That's the way it is.
Wow. So, you know, out there, can a guy pretty much do his own thing?
I did.
Yeah.
People that say you can't's a goddamn liar. Goddamn liar, man. You ain't got to be with nobody. You're a grown ass fucking man. You have to take orders. That's why I used to tell them dudes, man. I would try to warn them. When white dudes would come into our tank, I'd go straight to them. I'd tell them, look, you don't owe anybody in here anything. You don't have to give anybody here anything. Yeah. I'm over there if you want to holler at me. I'll holler at you later. And some of them you see get down, some of them you getting slapped in the face and handed the commissary slip, you know?
Wow.
And if they were a child sex offender or something like that, you just got the blues, period. I used to love them dudes. Just the blues.
Do they have killings out there?
Yeah, they do. Back in the day, it was more the laws were killing people, man. And they make you disappear. By the time your family would be notified if you were dead, it's 2 or 3 weeks later, you've been buried. You know, there's no crime scene investigation. They're not calling the police. You get murdered, they come and take your body away to the local morgue. That's it. There's no investigation.
So what about like child molesters or rapists when they come to prison? Guys find out they're in there for sex offenses like that. Do they get stabbed up?
No, they don't get stabbed up. But I've seen one get stabbed up. They don't get stabbed up. They pretty much get, let's put it this way, they get the blue. If they have money, they're even better. If they don't have any money, well then they just get slapped around all the time, you know, just treated like a whole. I've seen dudes that weren't allowed to use their own toilet in their cell. They had to come out in the day room and use the public one covered in loogies and spit and piss and brush their teeth there and take a crap there because their cellies wouldn't let them. So they get treated like a bitch, man. They do not have a good time. To me, it's better to let them live.
Out here, they get stabbed, you know, they get killed. Like if guys trying to join a prison gang or trying to make his bones for whatever reason, they're a prime target for murder. And then even on the PC yards, like in Soledad North was a PC yard. I heard, you know, people talking about like staff and shit. One of the yards, they wouldn't allow sex offenders on that. And them dudes are PC. So, I mean, they had, even in PC, sex offenders out here gets the blues pretty bad, you know?
Even if they did lock you up for some kind of protection in Texas, if somebody wanted you, the laws would open the door and let them in there. It's happened many a time. There's this documented history. They'll open up the door to SEG and let them in there. Wow. Them laws are making minimum wage. That's why I say the craft shop, keep them in debt. They ain't making no money. They're making $12 an hour and they're having to drive 100 miles out in the country to get to the prison. You know, they ain't got no money, man. They ain't got no money. Wow. So, you know, they're down. They want to bring in cigarettes. I never got into the contraband. Food, that's it. You know, bring me some food. I can't get in trouble for food.
Yeah, staff out here make, you know, $100 grand, $150 grand a year.
Mm-hmm.
And they make good money, you know.
Yeah, from their payroll?
Yeah.
Oh, well, they're getting paid then.
Yeah, they get banged. You know, when I went to prison in 1982, I asked one of them cops in San Quentin, I go, you know how much you got? He goes, I make $18,000 a year. He goes, I don't make enough to get in your way when you're out to stab somebody. And he said, oh, when you guys start stabbing us, I'm going to quit. You know, but now, because Governor Pete Wilson he started 3 strikes, all that shit. He was a big favor in the prison guards union and all that shit. And so now they're making like $70,000 base pay. And then with overtime, they're making 120 grand a year, you know.
Hey, you want to hear a cool little fact about somebody in my family? My step great grandfather, W.D. Bowen was his name. He was a federal prison guard. He worked at Alcatraz from the time it opened to the time it closed. He retired a federal prison guard. Yeah, I'm on the hunt right now for his photo albums, man. He had 2 photo albums that were all pictures taken inside the prison back in the when the world was still black and white, you know, back then days. And I saw him when I was a little kid. I used to look through them, and then when he passed away, they went to one of my aunts, and since then nobody seems to know where they're at.
Yeah.
And I saw a couple the other day on American Pickers, I think, from San Quentin. They sold for like $10,000 just for photo albums, pictures of inmates, booking photos, old ones though.
I could have got some of them. I didn't know that.
Yeah, these were from the prison. They had 2 photo albums like that, just a booking shots from San Quentin.
Yeah.
Old ones though. Back when they'd send people to jail for public drunkenness and shit, you know, go to prison and shit back in the day.
Well, San Quentin been around since 1852, so.
Yeah, that's like a lot of the Texas prisons, man. They're old, man. I mean, I was set in the same prison, same cell block where, you know, Clyde Barrow was at, you know, right there at East Ham unit.
Yeah.
You know? A lot of history there.
When you did your first term, so you got up out of there, how much time you do on that first term?
Did the whole thing, man. I got out. So I paroled it in about close to almost 3 years, probably. I made parole. I wasn't out. I wasn't even out a hot smoking week, man. I wasn't even out. I was back in jail. More felonies.
Wow.
Went back. I did 3. You said 3 strikes and you're out a minute ago. That's what they hammered me down in Texas with the 25 to life. That's why I got so much time the last time. I mean, I got basically a life sentence. I just barely finished the 25 years last year. 25 years.
So you got out of your first term and went back to prison.
Yeah, revoked that one. Got a 16-year sentence. I got 10 years out of the Corpus where I live, and 6 years in another county over. But they stacked it on me. They wouldn't run it concurrently. They stacked it. Yeah. I kind of did all that to myself, man. You know, I'd go into the courtroom with a bad attitude. I was young, and doing time didn't scare me back then. I hadn't realized that they will snatch your life away from you, and you'll never get it back. And I think when I realized that I lost all my youth, all of my youth, and that now here I am, you don't get that back. And my life's over. I can't, I found out when I got out and went to a punk rock show, a hardcore show, and I got in the pit and tried to hang with the youngsters, and I couldn't walk for a week or move. Yeah. I figured, those days are over.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But
so, later on, when you went back to prison, you said they did away with working out in the fields and stuff.
They have now, from what I hear. Yeah. At first, it started where they wouldn't go out if it was too hot or too cold. That was a trip. We're like, wow, they actually, did that. But now it's just not feasible no more. Now they're more or less setting up because they're like California with the 3 strikes and you're out. They're really not. They don't want you anymore for the charges. Like I have burglary and stuff like that. They don't want you. They're setting up now if they deal with all these dudes that they got to do 45 years flat before they even come up for parole, if they even get to come up for parole. So we got lots of those now.
So them guys they're not looking to work out in the field anyway.
No, no. Back in the day they would, man. Working was a sense of pride. The field was, you went out there, and actually looking back, it was scary when you first get out there because you see all these guys, dirt, cowboys, guns aimed at you, yelling and screaming all day. People got weapons. But man, once you get in the flow and you see what's going on, you start getting big, you get stronger, and it was working. And see, like going in the fields, like if you were from Corpus, I know this is stupid, but something my homeboys had, you couldn't wear your coat in wintertime or you were weak. So you turn out to go in the fields, it's 25 degrees outside and sleeping. You could tell who everybody from Corpus was because the dumbasses didn't have no jacket.
Yeah.
Game all day long. Somebody walk up and drop you, bink, in the kidneys. So, yeah. Stupid.
So now they're not doing the field work, so the food has gotten a lot worse, I imagine. Then, right?
Yeah, it's cruel. They only feed you 2 times a day now out here.
Yeah, it's the same out here. They give you 2 meals. They give you breakfast and dinner, and they give you sack lunch.
See, that's because breakfast, man. Back in the day, it was good, but now it's like last time I was there, I never went. It was like rotten milk and two water pancakes. That's it. So if they feed you that and dinner, you're basically eating 1 time a day.
Yeah.
Unless you got money, so you got to have money.
It's all over the country, food and prison has become an issue, because, they centralized the food distribution and the menu centralized now in California. Back in the day, every prison could make its own menu. The food manager at every prison could buy food from whoever they wanted to. Like when I was in Tracy, the food manager used to get ribs donated from the local hog farmers, shit like that. So we ate pretty good at certain prisons, but now everything's centralized, it comes from prison industry, produces all the meat, and it's just bad. It's really fucked up.
It's bad in Texas. It's bad. Like I said, they feed you good when they would work. They got no reason to feed you now. They got no reason to feed you. That crop ain't got what I'm tripping out on is when I say they have fields now, I'm talking, 20,000 acres on a prison, 20,000 acres, 10,000 acres. And it's every square inch is vegetables. Yeah. And they don't have any fucking machines there. They have tractors that they plow up the field with if they want to use them. If not, they have 1,000 guys right here with Aggies. Get out there and do it. Yeah. They didn't believe in machinery. No. You want to pick some vegetables?
One thing I used to see in Easy Rider magazine was the rodeos in Texas prison. They still have that?
No, they did away with that. Stopped right before I went to prison. Good
dog's yakking.
I'm surprised mine ain't doing nothing. What were we talking about? I forgot what we were talking about.
So they used to have rodeos in Texas.
Yeah. They stopped that right before the first time I went. The rodeo arena still stands, but it started getting in bad repair. And needed. Now it's full of all the prison vans that they transport in that they've totaled out and wrecked and all burned up. They burned inmates up and shit, handcuffed in.
Really?
It's all broke down cars now. It was a big thing, man. That in Louisiana, they would actually travel sometimes. They bring inmates from Louisiana, do the rodeo. I still keep up with the Angola prison rodeo. I'm all on their sites. Yeah,
Angola has rodeo still.
Yes, I believe they do. Yeah, I'm still friends with it on Facebook. They have it on Facebook. Check them out. The Angola prison rodeo. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
I heard that they would have spectators come in from the street and watch the inmate, prisoners.
Hang on. I thought I turned that off, man. My bad. Sorry about that. I'm turning. Okay, it's off now.
So they would have the inmates do the rodeo thing while people from the streets came in and watched.
Yeah. They sell tickets. It's like in Louisiana, it's like a festival thing. People look forward to it. People buy up the tickets in advance, so they'll have a seat, Yeah. And of course, the craft shop, they bring their stuff out there and they sell it right there to the people. Yeah. And it gave a chance for the inmates to get out. You take them, go have some fun, do something. Win a little bit of money. They put $100 bill between a bull right here between a big old bull, big old horns, and turn it loose. And dudes will go out there. Whoever gets the $100 bill wins. But they get out there and get killed trying to get that $100, man. Wow. They get it though. They get it.
That's amazing. Prison system really has changed, it just, I don't know, it's just a straight industry now, and it's,
that's all it is. Warehouse,
recognizing people as individuals and human beings kind of went to the wayside,
Yeah. And if you look, if you paid attention, if you like, I check in on TDC websites and I pay attention, with some YouTube channels, yours, I watch yours and one or two others. Yeah. So I pay attention. My gig was that I know you go to prison, you fucked up. Some people didn't, there shouldn't be there. But it's the people that are there that once they're there, the mentally ill, the way they're treated, man. I always wanted, if I could do something, I can't do nothing about it. You can't do anything to Texas. Yeah. They'll kill you. But if you saw the way the mentally ill are treated there, old men, man, blind people, they're just thrown in the cell, left in their own excrement, and just nobody cares. Nobody cares about that. It's just, I don't know. Anyway, that was my gig.
So, do they have medical prisons out there?
They have, yes. I believe it's the Stell. It was called a Stell. and that's like a hospice for people with HIV or people old passing away, stuff like that. But and then they have John Seeley, which is a hospital in Galveston, which is all students from the University of Texas who are learning to be doctors. So yeah, they'll cut on you for practice over there.
Wow.
Yeah,
You know, out here we got certain prisons that are designated for high risk medical inmates. They send them to certain prisons that have access to, you know, medical. They take you to outside doctors on the streets, stuff like that. You know,
in Texas now they got it to where every time you see the doctor now, and same way with school. When you get out, if you go to freaking vocational school now in Texas while you're there, and you get out, you have to pay that. That's part of your parole fees now. You got to pay them back, and they're charging you just like if you were a free world, the same price. So that's a lot of money. So a lot of people aren't going to school. And medical, if you go to medical, it's $100 every time you drop a sick call. So people aren't going. And if you don't have money, and you ever do get money, they'll snatch it up. So if you get $100 sent and you went to the infirmary, you never see a penny of that. It's gone.
it used to be free in California, and then they started charging us a $5 copay. But now I heard they did away with the $5 copay, and we don't have to pay to be on parole here.
Well, I had to pay $18. But about 8 years, my last 8 years on parole, man, I went ahead and paid it off. It was $18 a month. I paid it all off.
Yeah.
So I got it over with. Actually, I overpaid, and they don't give refunds. So I overpaid by $800, I think. Yeah.
I heard
when I got off.
In Arizona, it's $50 a month. Nevada, I heard it's $80 a month to be on parole. Which just blows my mind because, you know, if you get sentenced to 10 years and you do your fucking time and get out, and then they want to keep you on parole for a certain amount of time, that's their decision to do that, not mine.
Yeah.
So why would you have to pay to be on parole? You know, it's just stupid. You know?
Our parole system here is vast. There's a lot. Like right here in my neighborhood, just in my little neighborhood where I live. Okay, there's probably who knows how many felons are in this neighborhood. It's Flower Bluff. You have sex offenders. You have people on parole with a major, you know, like a intense caseload, the drug caseload. You have about 10 different parole officers who visit my neighborhood on a daily basis. So even when I was on parole, I get out of my car and hey, there goes my parole, or another one from, hey, what are you doing? I still see them. They wave at me, hey, how you doing? You know?
Yeah.
I can stand out there with a beer in my hand now. Hey, how you doing?
Hey, so let me ask you, like the dudes down there in Texas go to prison that are bikers. Do they kind of run their own deal, or they how's that work out for them? Like out here, we're kind of like our own little group, you know, like.
Okay, speaking from guys that I personally know who are personal friends of mine who are MC,
yeah,
they more or less stay to themselves, but they will fall.
Can't hear you.
You can't hear me?
All right, you faded out there for a second.
Okay, I was probably mumbling. My bad.
All right.
They may hang out with their people, you know, because like the MC here, the main one, it's white and Hispanic, you know. Yeah. So they may hang out with the Hispanics in there, but more or less, whenever they come in, nobody fucks with them, man. Nobody will fuck with them. And they tried that on a buddy of mine. You know, this is the black TV, this is Hispanic TV, and I just remember there was like 6 of them, little kids, and he was an older cat. He's crazy. He said, "Hold that thought," and he took out his teeth and set them on the table, and then he cleaned house, and then he asked for a channel check. Can I get a channel check over here, boss? He took the TV, took it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they don't mess with them. They pretty much get mad respect because he ain't got no choice, you know.
In California, you know, most of the bikers, especially guys in the clubs, you know, they don't really go to California prison system anymore. They kind of shuffle off to the feds. But you know, most of the guys are dope fiends and shit. So, you know, in the 80s, 90s and shit, guys that were, you know, bikers kind of just hung out with each other, even different clubs that might not get along on the street, that kind of kicked it inside the prison system because, you know, a lot of the other guys didn't really like us, to be honest. You know, they kind of, you know.
And there's a lot of bikers that end up in prison in Texas, but as far as bikers that like, you know, have got some pull or something, there's only one major here and whenever if one of them falls up in there, Yeah, they pretty much, even the laws suck them off. You know what I'm saying? Even the laws are, oh yeah, put them in the laundry, give them whatever they, because it's just better to do that,
Yeah.
Way to go, I guess. Be human about it. Be nice to them.
Yeah. Yeah.
No.
That's
Yeah, but
cool.
yeah, they get their own respect. Ain't no doubt. Ain't no doubt.
Yeah. 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 Texas is quite a different animal than California, So
Yeah, like I said,
your last prison term you did, how long you been out?
been out since 2000, and I looked at it last night. 2002, March of 2002.
All right.
March 2002, and then I went back on a parole violation. So, but I don't count that. I don't count. That didn't happen. That was all a big mistake.
Yeah.
I got a DWI.
All
First
right.
drug or alcohol charge I ever had, man. They locked my ass up and kept me there for a while too.
Yeah.
Misdemeanor.
You've been out for a while. So what do you like? They have like NA or AA programs in Texas prison.
Oh yeah, if you're on parole, you have to go. I didn't have to go because they didn't make it retroactive, and I'd been on parole long enough that I didn't have to. But yeah, you got to go. Well, you're supposed to go. You know what I'm saying? You're supposed to go. They just give you a piece of paper, and you can, I guess, sign it yourself if you wanted to.
What about inside the prisons? Do they have them kind of programs?
Oh yeah, they got A and A. Oh yeah, right now in Texas, you're not going to prison. I don't care if you go in there for stealing flowers to give to old ladies. You're going to go to an intense prison drug rehab before you get out. That's how you're going to get out. 6 months, and then a halfway house, and then so a lot of guys. Whenever I got put on that caseload when I got my DWI, substance abuse caseload, and it took me about 2.5, 3 years. And one day I went to report, and he told me, "Well, I got good news." He goes, "You're off the substance abuse caseload." I said, "Cool." He goes, "Yeah, that's real cool because you're the only person who's ever done it.
Yeah.
Nobody ever gets out because if you mess up, they send you right back to the in-prison rehab, and you start all over again."
Wow. Wow.
You're a dope fiend. You can't lay off the dope. You're going to stay in those meetings, man. I didn't have time for that. I worked too much. I didn't have time to be going to meetings.
Yeah.
Just didn't have time.
Well, you've been out for quite a while now, so you're obviously doing something right,
Yeah, I had a lot of support, man. I had a good family. I was married whenever I got my 25 years, man. She was there whenever I went to court. She was there when I got off the airplane coming home. I don't know what she did in between. I didn't ask, but she was there. So I had support. She'd come see me, write me letters. And
you guys didn't have family visits down there.
Not conjugal, no.
Yeah.
You have contact visits, but they're in a chair and you're in a chair, and you got a space in between you. You can hug once at the beginning and once at the end. That's it. So, and a lot of times in Texas is big, man. You get sent to a prison, you may be 12 hours away from home, by car. And so, I didn't want my family would come to see me, but I had them about once a year come see me, just once a year. Cause I didn't want them on the highways, man. I've seen a lot of people in there, man, to get that call from the chaplain. Hey, man, your whole family got wiped out on the way here. And that's a hard thing to see, man, because they ain't gonna let you go. I didn't want my family on the road.
Yeah.
I know you're there. I'm all right. So
yeah. I had a friend whose wife got killed in a car accident on the way to a visit. It's kind of actually come up for a family visit and got in a car wreck. That's kind of fucked.
Yeah, that's rough. Yeah, plus my ex-wife, my mom would come up there like captain or whatever, but tell them shit like, "Why are you wasting your time coming to see a criminal on the weekend?" Like hitting on them and shit like that. Yeah, assholes hitting on your old lady while you're sitting there locked up, bastard. Can't do nothing about it.
That sucks, man.
Man.
So, since you've been out, you've been working and stuff, or what's going on?
This is day one. When my mom had me, she got me a job before I got out at a bar, at a freaking bar, man. It was cooking in a bar. I did that for about 4 months. The first day I was out, though, I had a job, so I went straight to work. I found my old paycheck stubs the other day. I was making $240 a week. Wow. And I was happy back then, man. I was happy. I was free and I was happy. Now, $240, I ain't even getting out of bed for $240. What are you talking about, $240?
Yeah.
But I've always had a job. That's one thing. If you want to be successful in your parole, get a freaking job, man. Pay your fees, get a job, and don't pop hot on them piss tests, and you got it made in the shade.
I never popped the dirty. I don't use, so I mean, I'm over that shit.
Yeah.
If you piss
too old for that.
Parole,
we're too old for that, man.
Yeah, it should, I quit using in prison back in 98, 97, 98, but
Y'all have a lot of drugs? Is
Huh?
there a lot of drugs in y'all's prison?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Huh.
There's a lot
I
of
like
drugs, a lot of money. You know, guys go to prison, man. I mean, you know, from speaking from my own experience, you know, I didn't want to stop doing what I was doing on the street. So you figure out a way to do it, you know, while you're in prison. You know, how you can make some money off dope and how you can party. And you know, that's the deal.
Yeah. See, if you have money and you're in Texas prison, and they will know, they know who has money. A law will hunt you out and find you and try and proposition you. Hey man, you know, you got money. What's up?
Really?
What do you want? Yeah, they'll bring, yeah, they'll hit you up. They need that money, man. They're broke. There's several on each unit that'll do shit for you, man.
So
I never would do that, man.
What about drug use and sales and all that kind of shit in Texas prisons? That
See, that's why I ask you. See, every once in a while, stuff came in. I saw all drugs in there, but it was very rare, very very rare. People didn't. I know I had the chance where I could have had anything brought to me or mailed to me. I didn't do that because I wanted to go home, and I had 25 years, and I wasn't trying to do it all in prison.
yeah, yeah.
But I got food instead, spices.
Yeah.
Food. I mean, I ate every night, man. We barbecued every night on the cell block. Every night, I fed all my homeboys. I was blessed like that. But we were eating stuff. You know, the guards would come by like, man, what are y'all cooking? It smells like my house. We're making enchiladas and stuff in the cell.
Yeah.
You know, full on enchiladas, frying eggs on the table. You know, where'd y'all get the eggs at? We ain't got eggs here. Where'd you get eggs?
Yeah.
I get food brought in. You know.
Yeah.
But some dudes, you know. You can't, let's put in Texas, if you got anything going on at all, especially with a female officer, especially with that, if one person sees you talking to that officer, whether it be male or female, and it looks like y'all might be talking about something secret down low, they're going to tell on you. They're going to tell on you quick. Quick. Yeah, that's one thing about Texas, boy. They no shame in the snitching game, boy. We had a majors boy. Huh?
Serious?
Yeah. Hey, we had a majors boy. This dude was the majors boy. If you didn't like your celly, you give him $25. He'd go right to the major and say, "Hey, move this dude," and the major would do it. He was the biggest snitch in the world. He didn't care. He would come onto your cell block. He don't even live there, and walk right up, sit down at the table. And everybody just stop what they were doing and get quiet until he go, "Oh, that's how y'all do it. That's how y'all do it. Get out of here, dude. We don't want it here." Yeah, he just come over there and look. Yeah, but see, that's what's gonna happen over there when you stab. Y'all do a lot of stabbing in Texas, man. You talk automatic life sentence, man. Automatic, you know.
Really?
I mean, yeah, automatic.
If you're out here, you know, if a guy dies, but you know, if you do it as a 3 strikes. But I mean, if a guy was a known informant like that out here, I mean, he's getting stabbed.
Yeah, yeah. Well, check this out, Mitch. The dude who testified against me the first time I went to prison, I knew him all my life. He's a friend of mine. He's in the county jail right now for killing his mother. He just killed her.
Oh.
Yeah, and he snitched on me. I went to prison, got out. I beat him up a couple of times when I got out. He would stay away from me. Well, about 10 years later, I was back in prison. I'd been there a while, and guess who pulls up on a chain bus coming up into the penitentiary?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I almost said his name there. Yeah, dude who told on me. Yeah, he was a family member too. They didn't know about his old snitching game until I hipped him to him, and he had to cop out. He did. They covered him up, booted him out, and I laughed at him the whole time we were there.
Oh, you mean he was in a gang?
Yeah, he was. They didn't know. They didn't know about it. I didn't know he was in a gang. He had went to prison too, but we had separated, went different ways. I didn't mess with him no more, so I didn't know what he's up to. I knew he's a dope fiend. I knew that.
You're saying once his crew found out he was a rat, they didn't kill him?
No, but I tell you what, he probably wished they did when they got through covering up that tattoo on his side, about the size of a plate, colored in solid black, just as hard as they could dig that tattoo gun in.
Wow.
Yeah, you see those dudes, you see a dude in the showers with a big old black spot right here, you know, oh yeah, you fucked up somewhere, didn't you?
Wow, you know, out here, man, you know, it's different. I mean, dudes like that get stabbed up and sometimes they die, you know. It's just that's just the way it is. I mean,
seems like y'all have a lot more people dead, especially a dirty ass prison getting stabbed with a dirty shank. I can imagine the diseases that are coming along with that.
You know, I've seen guys stabbed, you know, there have been cases in prisons out here where guys got buck knives, you know, street knives. I mean, and then I seen a brand new loaded 38 in prison.
brand new loaded 38. Yeah, that's what I said. Yeah, he didn't last long. I think everybody went and told on that dude when they found out he had it in there because everybody was scared they'd shoot him. And he had a problem with some family or something. Yeah, so when he had visit, somehow he got a fucking gun in. He had it hidden in the mop closet. They found it though.
Yeah.
Fucking
Wow.
loaded gun.
Yeah. Texas prisons just seem a lot, well, California prison is probably just different than most other states from what I'm hearing, we're talking to folks. But so since you've been out, man, like you still doing your leather work and stuff?
Yes, sir. That's what I do for a living. I retire. I don't know if you can see it back there. You probably can't see nothing.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
That's my new girl right there. I just got that 2 weeks ago.
What's that? A sewing machine, right?
Yeah, that's my patcher. That's a patcher, and I got 1, 2, 3. I got 5 more running back there.
You remind me of a friend of mine out in Arizona. He did 35 years out here in California prison, and he's in a motorcycle club. But back in the day, he bought this dope fiend's leather tools. The guy had about $1,000 worth of leather work tools, and he bought them for I think he bought it for a gram of speed.
Yeah.
In '84, and he's still using that stuff now. He's just that's what he does. Leather work.
I'm real big here in the scene, or the leather workers, the ones that are here, and I teach at Tandy, so I get a lot of heads up on people who like leather workers in South Texas. They die, and their family sells off their stuff. And I don't know if you can see that. Oh
Yeah.
But a lot of all those right there are from 1940s. They belong to. I bought them off for $300. That right there is about 12 grand worth of tools if you sold them for what they're worth.
Yeah.
But stuff like that, and I paid $300 for all that. And I was going through them and looking, and a lot of them have freaking TDC numbers on them.
Oh, really?
So they've come out of a prison somewhere, and
Yeah.
now they're back here living out their life with me.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good shit, man.
Yeah.
It really is, And that's a testament to what the hobby programs can do in prison. I mean, you learned your leather skills in the hobby program in prison, and now you're out here making a legitimate living with it,
Yeah. See, I always kept this down low, man. I kept all my stuff. The only thing I sold off was my sewing machine because I wasn't using it, and nobody really knew that I did leather work. And I was holding it for when I couldn't give my labor no more, my job, when I just couldn't hang off the side of a building no more. I knew what I could do here. And when the pandemic started,
Yeah.
I said, well, I made one nice sheet, and I went to HEB with it, and since then it's just steamrolled, man. I mean, I learned from a good dude, man. And, make some pretty good stuff there, buddy.
Oh yeah. Back that up a little bit. Pull it back a little bit. Yeah, there you go. You made that purse, huh?
Yeah, I made this 30 years ago.
Oh wow.
30. Yeah. This right here is the first thing I ever made. I made it in the penitentiary.
Yeah.
First thing I ever made.
Yeah.
That dude was good, man. He told. That's why I wanted to do it. Because I figured, I just thought leather work was like, knife sheath. But when you know what you're doing, man, you can make some money, dude. You know what I'm saying? There's a difference. Yeah. There's a difference between a $20 gun holster and a $500 gun holster, and that the difference is the person making it. So you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So people know you come here, you're gonna get taxed. That's the price. That there ain't no.
You get what you pay for in life, in a lot of cases, So let me ask you, like, when you quit working a regular job and you started doing your leather work, how long did it take before your leather work started taking off for you?
Right then, it's been that way ever since.
Yeah.
I got a line yesterday. What did I get? I got 4 sheets, a holster I got to do, and 2 purses that I busted cutting leather for the purse right now before we started up. I got like 6 things going right here on the desk right now. Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty cool, man.
And then I got the new machine I got. I do all the MC down here. I do all the patches. Nobody does patches down here, so that's why I got the machine. They come here. Once they come, they're not leaving their jacket, so they got to hang out. Nobody wants them hanging out in their house. So hey, come on, cruise over, man. Shit, I'll do it. Yeah, so I've got a lot of business.
You sew their patches on their vests for them?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's
yes, sir.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool, man.
That, and you get all kinds of people harnesses they want sewn. Get your harness fixed. So you got to have a certain kind of sewing machine. It has to be done certain specs. Right. I can do that here. I can do that. So all that stuff. So, and right now I'm getting into, I'm going to fix to start making shoes, custom shoes.
All right. Can you make riding vests?
Yes, sir. There ain't not anything in leather. I can build it. Anything.
Yeah.
Anything.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome.
I got a lot of money invested in, ain't no doubt.
Well, you know, they say it takes money to make money, so.
Yeah. I got a good old lady too, man. You know what I'm saying? So even if I wasn't doing that, she got my back. Like right now, she's helped with all my medical bills and stuff like that. She don't care if I'm not working, you know, working a full-time job, all that. Cause I make good money here. And then plus I don't want to die. Can't work like that no more. They said I could die or be paralyzed, be quadriplegic if something went wrong, you know?
Yeah.
So I ain't tripping.
Well, you know, having a good old lady, man, is you know, it's a blessing. I have a good wife, and I'm blessed, you know. So
yeah, I believe I saw your wife one time on your show. You were painting a closet, I think. Yeah, you were in a closet or painting something.
Yeah, it's painting a room.
Yeah, I made a comment about, hey, you ain't cutting in very good or something like that.
Yeah.
Do a better job. That's what they thought you were a painter. Paint that thing.
Yeah, well, I painted that thing behind me there.
Yeah, I'm seeing that. I like that. That's pretty cool, man.
Yeah, that might
looks
be
like that old. Looks like Tom. What's that dude's man? The art.
Oh, yeah, it was that might be our next T-shirt pattern. You know.
Yeah, that's pretty cool right there, man. That's pretty. See, I started up that little Facebook group I had. I was hoping that other people like you would come out and show their work. I wanted to show the guys that nobody's ever gonna see, man, because there's some shit in there. I have a friend of mine that he's still there right now. He has a ship that he built in a museum in England, and he built it from just a picture, exact replica of an old schooner from England. Yeah. And they flew up to Texas and got it and put it in their museum. There's dudes in there that will blow your mind what they do. It will blow your mind.
You have a lot of time, and you can develop some skills. And stuff, man. I knew a guy in San Quentin last time I was there. He used to build ships, you know, and pretty awesome. All the rigging and all that stuff. He did all that.
Yeah, this dude would do it in gold. All the rigging, he would do it in gold. I mean, he would go full out. And he did these rocking horses. They were life-size wooden horses, out of solid wood, hand carved. And you'd see them rolling them down the hallway. Somebody had bought them in the free world, and they'd be taking it out of the prison. And that whole prison would just look at it when it'd go by. Like, yeah, look at that, dude. He's bad, man. The world will never know that, you know.
I seen a guy in Tracy made a carousel horse, you know.
Yeah.
And pretty awesome. And you know, I made a few rocking horses, you know, for kids. And I used to make wooden toys, jewelry boxes, all that kind of stuff. I wish I had a wood shop now, but you know, I got my art, you know, and good. Things are good.
It's my peace of mind, man. I do this because I mean, nobody relates to this really. You know, all my people don't relate. Whenever I tell them I do part-time work for Singer, working on sewing machines. They look at me like, shut up, dude. You don't work on those sewing. People trip out, you know, you're all tatted up. They think, you don't fucking sewing machines. Fuck if I don't. How'd you learn sewing machines? I had plenty of time to learn. That's how. Plenty of time. Yeah. So, you know, I mean, literally in the craft shop here, man, I don't know how it was over there, dude, but we'd have 18-volt cordless drills back on the cell block on the weekends. We'd be taking apart the showers, taking apart everything. You know, you could. Yeah. And I don't know. It's just, it was a thing to do. I learned it. There's good skills there. But I can make money off of it, you know. It's nothing major, but I got something out of prison. I got something out of it.
Legal money, you know.
Yeah,
back in the day, you know, we had toolboxes in our cells. Guys used to make cable cars and all kinds of different shit, stage coaches, you know, and there's no hobby shops anymore in California prisons.
It was getting rough here in Texas as far as finding an officer that would staff it, and they'd be so low. You know, they call a craft shop. You'd have to go back to your house during child times, but other than that, if you were in the craft shop, you stayed there. You know, you could do whatever you wanted. So I'd stay there till 10:30 at night when it closed. Leave at 6 in the morning. I'm never in my cell. My cellie loved it. He had the cell all to himself. So, you know, all day. The craft shop was where it was at, man, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I loved it. When they took it away, a lot of the younger guys were like, you know, what are you so concerned about the hobby for? And I was like, dude, that's where we make money. And they just didn't get it. You know, the newer generation, they didn't understand that. You know, you can get that hobby shop and make some money, you know? And
And a lot of money, trust me, a thing of map colors, the skin tones may cost you $50 from Dick Blick Art Supply. But once I got it, it's $150 now over here, and they pay it all day. You know, of course, I didn't want $150 in envelopes, but you know, bring me something. But yeah, it's a pack of cigarettes in Texas when they first out. I don't know how it is now, but a pack of Marlboro Reds was worth about $120, $150. Is what it cost for one pack. A pack of Bugler, $100.
Yeah, I was selling cans of Bugler for 100 books of stamps.
For a can?
For a can.
For $100?
100 books of stamps.
How many's in the books? I never dealt in stamps. I just
a book of stamps is 20 stamps, you know, and then I would sell the stamps for $8 a book on the street.
Yeah.
But guys who sell cans of Bugler for $300.
Yeah.
You know.
I didn't smoke, man. I smoked before I went in, but once I quit, I think I took one drag off a cigarette the last time I was down. And I got so freaking sick, man. I crawled up in my bunk like a little broad, and fucking crying and whining, sick. It sucked.
Yeah, I'm over it.
Yeah,
I'm over.
But I started smoking again, so.
Yeah, I quit smoking. My lungs are fucked up from that valley fever, so I quit smoking.
You know, I just read about that, man. I just read about that the other day. Something in the dirt, the wineries or something, and gets in the air. And
yeah, any of the farming communities in the Central Valley and some places on the coast. Like I got it at Soledad. They tore out a tree orchard and planted a winery. And there's a fungus in the soil. When they disturb the soil, it gets in the air. Fungus gets in your lungs and reactivates. And it's a prehistoric fungus.
Oh, great.
And it starts eating your body, and you know it ate some holes in my lungs, so my lungs are fucked up. Best thing I ever did was quit smoking.
Yeah, it's caught up with me now. I'm showing signs of not being able to breathe real well. I'm 51 years old now, so
yeah,
which ain't old, but feels old. But yeah,
oh, shit, man. Any advice or any kind of anything you'd like to get out there to the folks watching before we wrap it up?
Yeah, man, just any of the young dudes out there, man. I mean, it's really not a game. You may think it is. It's not. But if you have any soul at all or any common sense, man, you're going to lose all your youth, man. You'll lose it all. If you don't lose your whole life. You know what I'm saying? And it sucks, man. When you get old and you realize that, hey, man, it's all gone now. You get out, all the chicks that you grew up, they all got kids now. Everybody's growing up. Everything's different now. You don't know how to use a phone. It's just not worth it, man. It's stupid. It's stupid. You might as well be dead when you're in prison because you're not contributing to society, and you really are dead. You really are. You know what I'm saying?
Nobody
you're
not contributing to your own life either. You know.
Yeah.
You know.
But that's about it's just everybody's their own man. You're gonna do what you do. But you've been warned, just like I was warned when I was a kid and didn't listen to my grandpa. Yeah. And I had to hear it every time I told you were going to go to prison. Well, shit. Yeah,
well, time is precious, man. And time is one thing, you can't get back. If you have money and you lose it, you can earn more money later. If you have a car, you could get another car, or bike, but time is one thing. Once it's gone, you can't get it back, and the time that you spend doing criminal behavior to come up financially or whatever, you're better off learning a way to make money legally,
I was telling a dude the other day, I said, man, I wish I had a pile of everything that I stole and all the time that I got so we could look at it and look at how much time I got. Look at that pile of VCRs over here and Apple IIe computers that you couldn't even fucking pawn right now if you wanted to. And look how that's what I went to prison for, man. Car stereo and freaking VCRs. Who has a VCR anymore? Can you even buy a VCR? I don't even know. Yeah, but back then in the day, I guess
they got Netflix now,
Yeah, you don't need a VCR no more.
Yeah,
you don't need one. But yeah, I was glad. This is the first time I've ever been free, Mitch, ever since I was 13 years old. Yeah. I never had a day of freedom. And now on parole, yes, I was free like that, but I was still answering to the man.
Yeah,
he let me go, man. He let me go last year. Yeah, came to my job site, shook my hand, said, "What are you gonna do now?" Same thing I've been doing. Nothing.
Yeah, it's the first time in my life since I was 12 years old that I haven't been on in jail, prison, parole, probation. I'm a free man, and it's
feels good.
It's quite a feeling of accomplishment, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it comes with responsibility as well,
Yeah, see, it's at the point now, the age now where all the guys that I used to hang out, I can't believe that some of them, a lot of them are still out there. They're still using, have been, never stopped, never been to prison, but they're all starting to die now. You know, guys you thought would never die or get killed by the police or something, they're just dropping dead.
Yeah.
Like, wow, that guy died from a cold, you know? I thought take a cannon to kill that dude. But yeah, no, yeah. You start getting older, drugs, man, and you start losing your friends and people and, you know, dudes your age over something stupid. Just so stupid, man.
Yeah, I just ran into somebody on Facebook the other day that's from my hometown, and he grew up around, he knows a lot of the same guys I grew up with. I'd never ran into him on the street, but he's living up here by me, and he's like, you know, everybody he knows down in San Diego that he grew up with, they're all in their 60s, they're all still using drugs, and it's like, dude, what the fuck, you know? He's like, that's why he doesn't live there anymore, and that's why he doesn't fuck with them, you know, because it's just like they never got off the stupid shit, you know.
Yeah, we stay flooded down here though. We're right on the border, so, so especially with the meth now. The when the bikers weren't making it no more and cut it off, the Mexican cartels across the border, they started cooking that and sending that shit over here, and it's just. Where I live, it's a very big thing. My neighborhood, the Bluff, is known for streetwalkers, all-nighters. They never sleep. They're cool people, man. They don't.
California's pretty bad, but San Diego too is a border town, and it's you know, they got certain parts of town everywhere you go in California. It's like zombie town, you know.
Yeah, that's synthetic weeds doing it now. Now that crap that they're smoking. See, that's another thing with the prisons. There weren't no drugs hardly in prison when I was there, but I hear now that they're bringing that synthetic weed in. But why didn't they just bring in regular weed? What the hell, man? You know?
Yeah. Well, you know, they put fentanyl in all the drugs now. Even weed has fentanyl in it. If you buy it off the streets, you could, you know, it's pretty.
Well, I mean,
you know,
if you're a drug dealer, it just makes sense. You just put a little bit of fentanyl in everything. And they don't know they're doing it. Pretty soon they can't figure out why they need that so bad and going back to get more. Well, now you're addicted to fentanyl, fool. You don't know it.
Yep.
So I don't even take painkillers. So I don't even take painkillers.
Yeah, I don't get loaded. I'm over it. I do smoke a little pot once in a while with a high CBD content. You know, but other than that, I'm good. You know, the cartels that bring that dope in here, they don't give a shit about nobody. All they care about is money.
Yeah.
It's not a party anymore. It's an addiction, and it's a life. It's a life of addiction and misery.
It's not even a life, man. I remember literally sitting in a motel room and looking at myself in the mirror doing dope. I just started crying. My homeboy's like, "What's wrong with you, dude? What the fuck's wrong with you?" So I hate my life, dude. I hate myself, dude. Look at me, dude. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Got in too deep, couldn't get out. And actually, that 25 years that I got saved my life. State of Texas saved my life. It really did.
Yeah.
Saved my life. I wouldn't still be here. No way.
Now you're free,
no
man.
Way. Yeah. Thank God. Finally.
Alive.
Yeah. Almost everybody in my life, but my family has never, ever known me as a free person. Never. Everybody's always just assumed. I still get people. They tell me, "Man, you still on parole?" I finally got off. No way, man. You got off, dude? Yeah. Finally, huh? Texas makes you do every minute, every day. You ain't getting off.
Yeah.
They say they let people off early, but I ain't never. Just like they say there's a Christmas kick out every year. Them dudes been waiting for Christmas kick out since before I went to prison. Still waiting on it.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But,
well, that's good shit, man. I'm glad to see you. You know, you got over that shit, you got your life together, and you're enjoying life, man.
Yeah, I'm glad I got to holler at you, man. About, like I said, I watched it before. It's pretty cool. I always wonder what goes on out there in California. I mean, like you said, you're just like Texas, just like us. Really.
Yeah. But Lone Star State.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. The prison state.
Yeah. California too. Well, it's been a pleasure talking with you, and you know, I just really has been. It's awesome to see guys who've done their time get out and make something out of their lives, and you know, like even if you don't have a lot of money, man, you know, you're rich. You know?
Oh yeah, like I said, I'd rather be homeless and free than be in the penitentiary, man. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, hey, yeah, the other night too, when you were on the air over here, man, that was pretty big, man. That was cool. That was righteous. That was righteous.
Yeah, that was cool. Damn, that was fun.
Yeah, I was moderating all night long, sitting there, everybody job. I was like getting all the texts, checking it out. I was like, no way. He didn't even tell me. he didn't even tell me. You know, it was like he surprised me. He sent me a message in the morning. Goes, "Hey, dude, he's a good dude, man. Oh, Tim, he's a good dude, man. He's cool."
Yeah, I like
cool. I got involved with him because when he came out and said he was a Crip, and people were saying, "You're full of shit. There ain't no white Crip." I just chimed in one day to say, "Oh yeah, he is. I know because I've seen a white Crip. The first time I saw one, he was a Crip. He was Muslim, and he was white as can be, and had mad respect in that. But you did not get out disrespect Crips, and he had the backup too. I blew my mind too. I was like, okay, I guess so. You know.
Yeah. See, out here it's a little different. You know, now it's a hands-off policy now that all the gang members got out of the shoe. But, you know, for the whole time I was in prison, white dudes weren't allowed to live on a yard with white Crips, you know. They would do their best to try to remove them, you know. So now it's a little different. Guys are getting along better, I think, and so they can go to prison and do their thing, you know. But I interviewed a couple guys that were white Crips from San Diego, and you know, basically they grew up around that stuff, you know. And
yeah, the ones that make the mistake are the dudes that go up in there and they didn't grow up with that. They're, you know, from the suburbs.
Yeah,
and they're in an all, you know, Caucasian neighborhood. They got a neighborhood Crip gang that think this and that. And they go to prison talking about I'm a Crip. There's some real Crips in there, man. Yeah. There's some real Crips in there, and there's real everybody in there. Yeah, and they will find out, and they will come to you about it. Yeah, they will come to you about that. They will come to you about.
Yeah.
So yeah,
that's right.
Take that. Well, but anyway. Yeah, cool, Mitch.
Thanks for coming on our show, and thanks for talking to folks about your story, man. And I think people are going to enjoy it.
Yeah, cool. I hope so, man. Sorry if I get nervous when I'm doing stuff like this. You know, I'm talking to Tim too. I get nervous. I'll get over it. You know what I'm saying? I'll get over it. Yeah, I got to because I want to do some videos myself on this machine back here because there's none out there on YouTube about that machine. Nothing. I'm fixing to make them. So, yeah.
Well, have a good evening and or
you too, man.
And we'll chat again.
All right, Mitch. Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Have a good day.